trying to decide if I want to do a podcast voice or not.
A podcast voice? Yeah. What's a podcast voice?
Hello, and welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink whiskey and talk about it.
You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, John and Zack.
Hey everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Zack.
Welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink whiskey
and talk about it.
For everything Those Dram Yinzers, be sure to visit thosedramyinzers.com. You can find our social media links, our Patreon page, the order form for our hats, and a link to Zack's favorite website.
John, surely you couldn't be talking about dramit.threadless.com.
Why, yes, I am.
Oh, goodness me. It's such a great site. They have stuff and things, but mostly shirts. Our shirts.
Food and stuff.
That's where I get all of my food and most of my stuff. Where was I? Oh, people should buy it.
People should buy shirts.
People should buy shirts.
Yeah.
It'd be super duper cool to get to see people wearing.
Pretty sure there's
stuff.
still onesies on there too.
I think there are onesies, just in case you want to start your kids young, etc.
Baby Dram Yinzer.
Yeah. And maybe I'll make a onesie that says "I'm the reason Daddy drinks" or something like that. But yeah, people should totally do that because we are both dads and have to put children through college, and I am stressed out about that. So, help.
Speaking of helping, if you're interested in sponsoring the show, want us to do an ad for your product, or would like us to try your product on the show, send us a DM or an email.
Slide into the DMs.
I knew you were going to do that one of these times. You ready to drink?
John, I think people have assumed I already have. And they would be wrong. This is just pure tired me.
All right, tonight's bottle is courtesy of my neighbor, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
He went on a family vacation for a couple weeks out to Colorado. I don't remember. I think forget
Colorado.
I don't remember specifically where they went, but like a good neighbor, John
State
was
Farm
there.
Is there.
And I got his mail for him. He asked me to get his mail, so I just kept his mail for a couple weeks and not expecting anything in return because it's just what you do. You're a nice person. It's, I don't, but he brought me a bottle back from Colorado, Breckenridge Distillery. He brought me the Reserve Blend. It's a blend of straight bourbon whiskey. And this one, and so like a lot of single barrel picks, right? You'll see ones with stickers or tags. I mean, we have a bunch from PWF picks, right? This one has a pretty cool sticker that Zack actually thought was part of the original design.
I did. It's pretty seamless.
This particular bottle, which I'm assuming this is where he bought it, was selected by the staff at Tipsy's Liquor World.
I got to get to Tipsy's Liquor World.
So Reserve Blend, 86 proof. We blend our whiskey with Rocky Mountain water. This bottle represents a personal barrel selection of our award-winning Breckenridge whiskey. Reserve Blend out of Colorado, Breckenridge, Colorado. I don't know if we've had a Colorado whiskey yet.
I don't think we have.
Well, no.
Have we?
I've had. I think Stratahan's is Colorado. I've had that one. But yeah, no, let's, it's a massive bottle. Why don't you do your little...
Insert gorgeous segment here. Cheers.
A bottle looks like a standard bottle you get from just for local understand, like Wiggle.
Yeah.
Trying to look at ones over here that I have that look similar.
I'll tell you what though, this has got heft to it.
It's
heavy.
heavy.
It's a heavy bottle. I'm genuinely very curious as to how thick the glass is with this because it's got some weight to it. Although,
well, we just have to drink and then figure it out.
Maybe it's just so packed full of flavor. It just can't be contained in a simple glass bottle.
Maybe.
No, the bottle is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous. End of segment. Shortest segment in the world. What is it? Gorgeous. I love this. Dude, I'm an art director for a living.
I know
and yet
you are.
When I come on here to talk about art,
you can't think of anything.
It's not that. All of the technical terms just
flutter away.
I was going to say that. We're so cute. John's my ride or die. But, like, words is hard. It's a good thing we do a podcast. They have beautiful embossing on here. It's got great texture to it. I like the ripped edges on the label, too. Give it a little bit of that kind of Colorado Wild West kind of a vibe a little bit. But it doesn't feel hokey or necessarily touristy, if that makes sense. It feels purposeful. It feels well designed. It feels it feels like it's got a little bit of history to it. History.
It's got more of a sophisticated look to it because it's the Reserve Blend.
It's the Reserve
you know what I mean? And when you look at, if you're on the site, you know, or you've ever had a regular bottle of Breckenridge, like, you know, it's different than coloring's different. You know, I mean,
Right.
the
It's got a black label instead of like the browns and stuff, and silver foil. That's what I was looking for. It's got silver foil lettering on here.
there you go.
Goodness gracious me! So
It all comes around.
It all. Oh my goodness! Eventually, we might be here a couple episodes, but we'll get there. You know, like 4 episodes from now, I'm going to be like, remember that episode we recorded like 6 weeks back? This is what I meant to say. No, but it's a gorgeous. I like it. I wish I could say more, but my brain's broke. So just know that it looks nice and it'll look good on your bar. And also shout out to the staff at Tipsy's Liquor World. Your sticker is dope. And it's also embossed and super nice. And fits in like pretty freaking seamlessly with this label.
I think the sticker, because I've seen a couple of the ones with stickers on them, that's probably from the distillery, but they just use the Tipsy's logo kind of sticker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would make sense because it does. It fits in seamlessly and it's like purposefully placed on here.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple when I was doing some research about the bottle on here.
Well, then I take it back. Unshout out Tipsy's and re-shout out
I mean,
Breckenridge.
maybe we shout them out after we taste it for picking this.
Maybe. Potential shout out to Tipsy's.
They're, just since speaking of
TBD.
picking, I'm giving kind of, not a spoiler, but we got some bomb-ass picks coming for PWF.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Same bat channel. Same bat place,
Yeah.
time, thing.
One of them, I forget which one it is a all-female picking team.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm super pumped to see how that one comes out.
Heck yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be awesome because I don't remember the list of who's going, but it's like top notch. Yeah,
I don't know why I made it sound like it was a bunch of ducks. But
I don't. Not
I meant
more
to
sounded
go.
like a.
I meant to go.
That more sounded like a
Car failing to start.
a dolphin, like a dolphin clicking or something. Anyway,
This might be the last episode for a couple people.
Yeah,
They're
right.
gonna be like, that
I'm done.
moron.
Done. Click.
I can't listen to him anymore.
They.
Sorry, John. It was a
So
good run.
there's a couple. I'm seeing what's like coming down the line. There hasn't been any that I'm going to yet. Yeah, there's some good ones that's coming out this year, so I'm really excited and gonna have to really break the bank and pick up like a third job or something like that.
Apologies in advance to our wives.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Just remember, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer.
Anyway, Breckenridge Reserve Blend. So I love this nose.
Thank you. I was born with it.
I initially got like almost like a wine kind of waft onto it when I first went to smell it.
I
But
see
then
that.
then all the standard cinnamon, vanilla, oak like really comes through. I think it's a really good
My first,
representation of like a bourbon nose.
yeah, my first nose was honey,
Ooh, nice.
and then as I smelled it, I picked up a little bit of maple.
Ooh, there you go.
I think because I was like, I want a waffle when I smell this.
There is a sweeter tone on that, so I could totally see that being
Yeah, like a brown sugar maple, a little bit of honey. There is a little bit of like a fruity tang to it as well, though. I see what you're saying with the wine. Getting a little bit of like a stone fruit on there as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking something up.
How dare you do research?
Well,
on
no,
our
I said
show.
we said we're going to be, we'll do some of the big boys if it comes across our bar, but a lot more focus on local and craft.
right.
Local and craft,
Right,
which
not just
Breckenridge
local
is
craft.
craft. Yes.
Local, comma, and craft.
Yeah, there you go. Commas are important.
Oxford commas. Let's eat, Grandma. Let's eat, Grandma. One of those sounds okay.
the department manager for English on our team, she has a shirt it's the same thing. Let's eat kids. Let's eat comic kids, and it's a dinosaur chasing kids.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm really, really sorry, guys. I'm just feeling some kind of way tonight. I don't know.
You're good. Sometimes it's funny.
I hope it's funny and it's not the reason why you drink.
Whoa. That was interesting, like middle of the palate. Like you said honey. Like I felt like I just stuck a spoonful of honey in my mouth. Yes?
I'm confused, but
A little bit.
But in a good way.
Like a real sweet honeyness in the middle.
It goes very dry. All right, so this is going to sound very sexual, but on the tip of the tongue, it's very dry. Then as you get to the middle, it's very sweet, and then it gets kind of oily in the back.
I just wrote down oily. Yeah.
So because
Sticks there for a bit.
yeah, because the tip of my tongue is very dry. It's very like it dried it out, and then it hit like you said, it hit the middle, and I was like, honey, sweetness, brown sugar, and then when it started to get towards the back, kind of started to round off, a little more floral, a little more pepper, not pepper, but like a little more floral, a little more spice, and oily. The back of my tongue is coated. The tip of my tongue is numb. The center of my tongue is at Willy Wonka's.
Yeah. I get cinnamon on the front.
Yeah, that
the
might.
tip.
Yeah,
Beautiful honey mixed
the tip.
in the middle. You're right. A little bit of spice. Decent hug for 86 proof, to be
Yeah.
honest. Wasn't really expecting too much of a hug for 86 proof, but
long legs.
yeah, it kind of sticks here for a little bit. I mean, it's really, really well done for 86 proof. You know, usually you're not really getting too much with 86. Now,
It finishes quickly too. It doesn't sit in my mouth as long as.
no, not like some other ones. I mean, it's there, like I can,
Oh, it's there. No, the taste is good.
but it does dissipate.
It does dissipate fairly quickly, which
Now-
I guess means you just have to drink more of it.
This one is not available at Fine Wine Good Spirits,
Right.
like most things we end up having, right? But the regular bourbon
Yeah.
whiskey, I think it's also 86 proof.
Yeah.
It is available so that you could have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
I've never had Breckenridge before this, at least I don't think I remember.
Yeah.
I need to start when I go to these shares.
Yeah.
I need to take like a little notebook. I think I actually gave all the Westward notebooks out. I have a bunch of little ones with me and start taking notes of what I've had because I forget all the time. I've had so much for all these shares, but I don't remember half of them.
It's a little malty,
I can see that.
I think.
I feel like it sticks here in the middle of the chest
Yes.
longer than like
Yeah.
mouthfeel.
I don't feel it. I don't feel it in the throat so much as right when it hits you, top middle of the chest, right below the throat, right by the sternum. It just kind of hangs out right there and just kind of warms you.
Yeah.
Like an old friend. This being a Colorado whiskey, I've been spending this entire episode trying to think of a way to work a Dumb and Dumber quote into this.
Or
Episode.
South Park.
Or South Park, yeah.
I remember I was in 5th or 6th grade. And I remember like all my friends watched South Park and I wanted to watch it, but like we didn't watch that kind of like those shows weren't allowed to be on at home. You know what I mean? And, I like talked to my parents into watching one and we watched like whatever Thanksgiving episode was
Oh, dear.
of that one. And I don't remember what happened, but something crazy happened. My mom, I don't think we even made it 5 minutes into the show. She's like, "You're not watching this." But they tried, you know, they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, let's watch this." And then they were like, "Yeah, nope." Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
To this day, my mom still hates that I watch Family Guy. I'm like, "Mom, I'm 36.
Yep. Yep. No, I get it. Yeah, we weren't allowed to watch like Family Guy, South Park, that sort of stuff when I was growing up, and then went to college and immediately started watching South Park, Family Guy.
I only knew about Family Guy because of the fraternity.
Oh, well,
I'd never heard of it beforehand.
Yeah, well, everyone would show up for the meeting early, and we'd all
We'd all watch it. Yep.
watch 2 or 3 episodes of Family Guy, get our chuckle on. Mm-hmm. Teehee.
I still have a bunch of like I think I have the first 3 season on DVD.
Oh, nice.
Back when before streaming,
Yeah.
and I know those episodes so well because I would put them on before I'd go to sleep, and then
Nice.
the title screen would play.
Ha!
You know, like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like,
Yeah.
title screen's going.
You know what started off weak for me, but I started to enjoy later in later seasons was American Dad.
I go back and forth whether I'm enjoying that or not. Yeah.
It is a real hit or miss, but the ones that hit, I am like headphones in, trying not to laugh out loud so I don't wake up my wife. Because I'm probably watching it in bed.
I've let's see. I've gone back and forth with that. I've gone back and forth with Futurama.
I do enjoy Futurama. Oh,
What's some other ones I watch? Like new, like ones now. I never got into The Simpsons. Not saying it's bad. Like,
no, it's a classic, but I never got into it.
I just never got into it. Yeah,
I
same
feel
deal.
like-
We weren't allowed to watch it growing up, and
Right.
And then when I left the house and went to college, Family Guy was hitting. So that
Family Guy was our
yeah.
Simpsons kind
Yeah.
of a thing.
What else was another big? Oh, what was that? Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, all those like Adult Swim. Type.
Yeah.
Robot Chicken was one that I loved.
Oh, I do love some Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken and Mad TV.
Oh yeah, Mad TV.
One of them did. I remember watching it. We were at, this is weirdest. I remember the weirdest things growing up, right? We were at, my family used to go skiing every year. And just down to Snowshoe down here in West Virginia. And I remember the one time we were up late and it was either Mad or Robot Chicken was on. And because it was that like claymation-esque, like, you know, how they do, you know, so I didn't know of other show. I just knew this, but it was like this like Pillsbury Doughboy, like gone mad, like kind of thing. Like he's killing people. And like, it was just like the cops. I can't find this video anywhere. I'll have to do a little bit deeper, but I can't find this video anymore because like it ends where like the cops like surround him and they try and like shooting him, but he's dough. So it just like absorbs. And he's like, they end up like, they push him in enough.
Gosh. Oh my god.
As a kid, I remember watching that and I'm just like, what is life?
Dude, I loved Robot Chicken. Like I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of stuff, but I'll be darned if I did not sneak Robot Chicken late at night on Cartoon Network when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd catch reruns of Mad TV whenever I'd come home and I was home alone. I'd be like, comedy syndrome. If my parents listen to this, I'm going to get a phone call. And they'd be like, you did what now? And I'll be like, don't worry about it. It was 18 years ago.
But now, oh man, there's so many now. So many now. Netflix has a lot of them. Big Mouth, if you watch Big Mouth.
I haven't watched Big Mouth.
That's one you watch when the kids aren't around.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I haven't watched Big Mouth. I haven't watched Enchanted. That's another. Disenchanted.
Disenchanted. That one's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's like Simpsons.
Futurama-esque type.
Futurama,
yeah,
Simpsons,
it's the same.
like, yeah.
Same people. I like Futurama more than Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Futurama.
And that one's really good. There's a couple like random ones. What the heck? Paradise PD. It's one of those ones where like it's so bad but you can't stop. Like I had to finish it.
Yeah.
And then I caught up and like they canceled it. Like they left the last season with a cliffhanger.
Of course.
And then they canceled it. But like they canceled it soon enough where they could add a little bit at the end. Like not rewrite the whole thing, but they added a bit at the end. Like, well, guess you're never going to find out how this ends. See ya. Bye.
Oh no. Wow.
You know, but it's so bad. But
Oh man.
yeah.
I'm really enjoying a lot of like the more like, it's gonna sound silly, but serious, mature cartoons, like on Prime. Invincible
I need to watch that.
is so good.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
And they have like A+ actors doing the voice
Oh, yeah.
acting.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
J.K. Simmons plays the main antagonist.
I'll watch anything he does.
Stephen Yeun is the hero. I mean, it's just so good. And it was awesome. And finally, season 2 is coming out, I think, this year. First season came out in like 2020. Because I binged that sucker in like 3 days. Because we were at home. And I've been like, this is so good. When's the next season coming? Please tell me they didn't cancel this because I need resolution. And they're like, next season coming out 2023. And I'm like, oh, yes, thank you. But like, I don't know, like I really enjoyed that. I started watching Castlevania on Netflix.
Yeah, that's on my list.
I don't normally do a ton of like anime stuff. I know I say that after I just mentioned Castlevania, but you know what is really, really good is Attack on Titan on Hulu.
Yeah.
That's a really good one, but also not for the kids. It's pretty vicious.
Have you watched on Prime Vox Machina?
No, but I've heard good things.
So it's based on the podcast YouTube channel, the Critical Role, the D&D group. It's based on one of their like campaigns or something. Yeah, and they're coming out with a second show. Like they just come out with a second season, just dropped of that one, and they're coming out with another show that's about another campaign they have because they've been going for like 10 plus years.
These people have to be so jazzed that they were like, it started off as a campaign for a tabletop, and now they're turning our campaigns that we made up into TV shows.
Well, they're on YouTube and like they're massive. Like this group that
But I just mean like when they probably first started playing D&D, could they have imagined that it was going to go to a massive following on YouTube and podcasts, and then all of a sudden Prime is picking up their campaigns and turning it into actual like series. Like that's so cool. If anyone wants to do a series about two overly tired dads who one day decided to start a podcast about a subject they had no business discussing and then kept doing that while getting more tired, boy,
that's really good too. Again, not for the kids because it's like
whiskey's
R,
not for
but,
kids.
Well, no, I mean the Vox Machina.
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina.
But it's really good. It's really funny. So when season 2 came out, they were doing like a comparison of the video of the campaign that they were doing and then the scene in the show, and it's like almost like word for word like spot on. It's a little bit of like creative differences, but like I'm just like, God, like
how is it that people can get a D&D campaign more true to the source material than Netflix can to The Witcher?
Yeah, well, yeah. And then they got rid of the one guy that actually tried to keep them on task.
Well, yeah. I heard Henry Cavill pieced because he was mad that they weren't following the source material.
They weren't, yeah.
He was like, this isn't good.
Oh, that's what I'm horrible with other actors' names, but the actress that plays the princess, she has like on interviews said like he is a Witcher like dictionary and can source like cite pages of like, well, when I read this on page blah blah blah, this is how I'm reading it, and I think this is how we should portray this line that he's saying. I'm just like, she's just like, it's insane.
I love that Henry Cavill is such a weeb.
Giant nerd.
That makes my heart
there's a lot of
happy.
Him, Joel, no, not Joel. Joe, the one from Pittsburgh. I'm going to butcher his name.
Manganiello?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's massive and like D&D and like big nerd and all that stuff. It's just kind of funny you hear like about like, all these like big actors being like, nah, man, I love that stuff. You know what I mean?
I just saw something on Instagram the other day where it was like, can we take a minute to appreciate that this person is just a giant dweeb? And it was hilarious because he's like a pro NFL football player on like the Lions or something. And in an interview, like after a game, he was like, I just want to be like, who is it? Jamal Williams.
Okay.
Like, is giving an interview after one of the games, and he's got like, it looks like something from like Naruto on his forehead.
Oh my God.
He's got his hoodie up, and he's talking about how basically he just wants to like be done with the interview so he can go home and play his games, his video games. And he's like, I just want to play football and play video games. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, I understand you. And this makes me very happy. So shout out to Jamal Williams and Henry Cavill and all the weebs in the world.
So back to the Breckenridge. This is so good.
It's so good. The longer it sits, the better it gets.
Oh my God.
The cinnamon and nutmeg notes have really opened up as it has sat. Yeah, a lot.
Oh my God. Like massive.
So do you ever wonder, like when people listen to the episode and we're just like riffing for like 25 minutes and we're talking about nothing, and people are like, when are they going to get to the whiskey? And they start to like skip forward, and then they're like, oh, okay, they got to the whiskey. And then we go back to riffing for like 25 minutes and they're like, what is going on? And then they like just like skip through. But then they could possibly skip more talk about the whiskey because this is literally just an embodiment of ADHD.
That is a whiskey channel.
being recorded.
ADHE whiskey.
Well, if they want to get together, I can guarantee you we'll get nothing done, but it would be a really fun conversation. It's just like you can't skip around in our episodes because we'll be going.
They actually do ADHD whiskey does make a March Madness bracket. They call it Matt Madness, and it's basically it's just like a bunch of other like podcasters, YouTube, like whiskey, like entertainment, whatever. They're all like brag, and they're given like samples, like blind samples, and like you and I would go head to head, and whoever guessed it correct, or more correct, better, or whatever, would move on, and you just like.
Oh, you'd mop the floor with me. I can't name.
Oh no, these guys that are on it are like legit, and like it's funny. In fact, the podcast, the one that inspired me to want to do one and get you involved, the one that did the pick of the Knob Creek that we both shared that night. One of their hosts, he actually won it last year.
That's awesome. I'm really glad people like to listen to us because there are so many times where I'm just kind of like the imposter syndrome is so off the charts.
I think they
me.
listen to us. I haven't really looked at the numbers in a while.
John, let me have this.
But we're going to get more consistent schedule. We're going to get our name out there more.
Well, we've been doing a pretty good job.
I've been doing
a
a good job.
Schedule this year. I've been responding to texts in a timely fashion.
You've been getting better at that.
I'm trying really, really hard. I'm trying to make it so that anytime my phone buzzes, my first reaction isn't crap.
Well, thanks. I'm glad that's what you think of when you get a
No,
message
it's not
from
when
me.
I think of when I see it's when I see it's you. I'm like, okay, it's John. But anytime my phone makes a noise, I'm like, oh no, this could be anything.
But we do have some pretty cool, we got our standard stuff coming down the road, all the festivals and everything we're going to. Got some pretty interesting interviews, hoping to line up here soon. Yeah, really excited about, really when you break it down, we're only doing 26 shows a year.
When you break it down.
So really, once we start, scheduling this out, we're like, oh, crap, we're already, through, April already or something. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's pretty nuts. And there'll be weeks where we'll have we'll probably double down on episodes because it'll be like, oh, we did a recording and then we had a festival that same weekend kind of a thing. And
yeah, we'll see how those play out.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we just had that special release last week come out for the Liberty Pole. What?
That's our next episode.
No, dude, this is coming out after that.
Oh, okay. All right.
In recording time, yes, that episode is coming out tomorrow. This episode is coming out the following Wednesday.
I've only been doing this for 4 years. So you think I'd...
This is why I just plan things and then just say, Zach, be here.
And maybe I'll show up. Oh.
But anyway.
God bless you for picking me to go on this journey with you because Lord knows if I was driving, that car would be in a ditch.
Yeah.
I'd be like, John, are we there yet?
But yeah, we have, we're working on an episode with our buddy Rich from Fermented Adventure out in Philly. Looking forward to getting that down on the calendar and getting something going with him.
For sure.
We got a Pete Heavy episode coming. Our buddy
Dare
Brian.
I say, I am so excited for that.
Are you?
I am.
I'm interested to see what Brian's going to pull out for us.
Yeah. I, dare I say, would be very intrigued at trying Ardbeg again.
Ardbeg 10.
Yes. And seeing
how you feel about it now.
How I feel about it now.
All right, Brian, you heard it. Bring it.
I said curious, not acquired.
But what else? We got, we're trying to do some more interviews coming up. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this year and what's going to come out for the show. So,
agreed. Mm-hmm. This whiskey's really good.
It's especially this one, the Breckenridge. And Tipsy liquor. Good job, good pick.
All right, so that you're back on the table for
for shout outs.
For shout outs.
This is really good. But so you
well
can't,
chosen.
You, again, like most of the things I bring to you, you can't get this one here.
Why do you do this?
Not in PA, at least. I don't know about Ohio or West Virginia.
You're such a tease.
I know, but when I looked online, it's average with all the liquor sites. Herc.
Get him, Hercules. Get him.
When I looked online, average I saw was about $50.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I should have said that after we did the rating. What's your rating on this?
Well, I was about to say, oh, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. So I almost gave away my rating, and I guess it's a Haas.
Mm-hmm. The Haas for me too. This is especially after letting this sit for a while. Like, oh my god,
yes. You know, this would also make a really, 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 really killer old fashioned.
yeah, you wouldn't really need much.
No. I might actually. It's already got enough of a dryness to it that I think I'd actually cut the amount of bitters I put in half because I wouldn't need that much.
Right.
Kind of like dryness added to it.
Yeah.
I would love to try this with. This could also make like a good Manhattan.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Like something like because it does have a little bit of that, like on the nose in particular, it had a little bit of that. It reminds you of wine, so I put like a fortified wine in there, like the vermouth or an amaro or something like that. Would I think be really beautiful with this?
For sure.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
That's both a double Forrest Gump and Dumb and Dumber
There you go.
reference.
There you go.
I like you a lot.
Feel better now.
A little bit.
Okay.
There has been a slight amount of pressure release.
All right. Well, I guess yeah, this is really good. Well done, Breckenridge. Well done, Tipsy, on the pick. And I guess the only other thing left to say is, Zack, sir, cheers to you.
John, my guy, cheers to you.
And cheers to Yins.